welcome back to my channel, Classy Sassy Manes, and I'm Charmaine. Today I would like to do some wig education. I would like to start doing a little bit of wig education, throwing that into the channel. So I'm thinking about, whenever we do this, how about calling it the Wig Ed Day? So Wig Education Day. What do you think? Anyway, leave me a comment, give me some ideas on what to call it. But I was wondering, if you guys have ever come across this. I know several of you have, and you've asked questions about the lace. Sometimes you get your lace in the translucent powder that you can get, just doesn't seem to cover it up. The lace is a little older, it gets a little more visible over time, and so what do? Sometimes you get it in that way and it just doesn't match. And I'm talking synthetics now. So what do? Well, I have had to do all the options, and then I've had to trim it. I've done the makeup, I've done the translucent powder, tried all of that, I've plucked it. So I've had to trim the lace. And when I trim the lace, what do? I go for my pinking shears. With the synthetics, you don't want to do a straight line. Everything I've read, everything I've researched, heard about, watched other reviewers, if you do a straight line, it's more visible. So I've tried that myself. When I first started my wig journey, I had bought some cheaper wigs and practiced on that. So I would trim it straight and see what it looked like. And then I would trim it with my pinking shears, and it would turn out a lot better. So from experience, now guys, this is my experience and things that I've researched. I'm definitely no expert, but definitely not a straight line. So I have bought this one secondhand, and I love it. This is my Caliente 16, and it is in brown sugar sweet cream. And I do have a couple of others that are brand new, but this one has the lace, and of course I've worn this one quite a bit because one of my favorites. Love it, love the color, my favorite color. But if you can see, this lace is really visible, especially if I don't have any makeup on and I just want to throw it on and go. I really can't do it with this one because the lace is extremely visible at that time. So I thought maybe we could trim the lace today, and I'll show you how I do it. So we're going to take this off, and I'm going to show you what I do. All right. So take it off. I turn it inside out. And I turn it where I can personally see the lace right there. And you see it's in a pretty straight line. And on this one, there is quite a bit of hair. I think it really needed to be plucked also, but they've got quite a bit of fine little hairs right there at the end that have come through on some of the other side. But so we are going to just trim it. Now, if you trim some of this and you lose some of the hair, that's okay. That's okay, because there's a lot of little bitty hairs just loose right in there. Just loose. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my pinking shears and I am going to cut this. And I'm not going to cut the ear tabs right here. Can you see that? I'm going to start about right here when it gets a little bigger. So if you want to, we could put this on a mannequin head Let me move my stool back and we'll bring this in. I'll take this one off. We'll put this one on there. Now, if you put it on the mannequin head, you do not want to cut the hairs. So, you can pull all of that back and clip it with a little clip. And I have a little clip right here. Oh, there it is. It's the same color as my table. Couldn't see it. So, okay. This, my dear, is going to be a little more difficult to do on camera than I expected, because I am not used to doing this on camera. I think I'm going to take it off the mannequin head so I can see better. So here we go. But I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, just the edges. Just the edges, you see that? Okay. You can hear that, and then what little bit of hair does come off with it, you can take it off. Okay. Do a little bit at a time. Okay. And I'll just go run my fingers through there to get some of that loose hair fiber out. Okay. And then I continue going around, and we're nearly done actually. So it doesn't take much, and just take a little bit off. Remember, you can always go back and take a little more if you need to. If you need to. Because you'd rather take off a little bit at a time than too much. You don't want to take too much off at one time. Okay. Let's move this mannequin head back. All right. Take that little clip out. Make sure I have all the little bitty hairs that was there. Let's put her on. Don't be surprised if you have to put her on and off several times. That's okay. I'd rather take her on and off and make sure she's done right. That feels good. Now, I don't have a really good mirror here to see. So what do you think? Does that look better? Can you see? Because next we're going to work on the part. Okay. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to go look in the mirror because I don't have a mirror right here and I can't really see in my little bitty camera. So I'm going to go look at that and then I'll be right back. And if that looks good, we'll leave that alone and we'll work on the part. And this is how much hair I've gotten off. Not a whole lot, just a little. All right, hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. I looked in the mirror and I brought my other mirror back. I still have a little bit over here I want to trim up. Now, when I do that, some of the blonder hairs are taken away, so you're going to see some of the darker knots. Now, when that happens, the translucent powder is going to be awesome to take away that. So you won't see that. And you just put that on there, take your little tooly brush, and you can just kind of rub it in, and it will kind of just disappear. So that's a good thing. But this lace is coming up a little bit, and it is discolored. So we're just going to kind of trim that back. And because it is an older piece that has been worn quite a bit, I still want to wear it. So we are going to save it. So I am just trimming that up again, just in that little area. And I'm going to turn it around where I can see it a little better. I myself, I have to be very careful because I tend to trim it up too much, and I don't want to do that. So just like when I'm trimming trees, I'll trim them up too much. I don't want to do that. Okay, but I do want to get the discoloration off, and I want to be able to wear it and wear it comfortably, where I don't have to worry about people just looking at my hairline constantly like, oh, okay, what kind of wig is she wearing? Not that I mind, because I tell people all the time that I wear a wig. And this one is so beautiful. All right. Now, I don't have my translucent powder in here with me, or we would do that and I would show you. Okay. Now, we're going to put it back on. That already feels better. Now, when you do buy hair secondhand, you know, that's why you get good deals, is because it has been worn and you have to take care of it. So let me look at the, yeah, so I'll just take some translucent powder right up in there. That looks a little better, maybe coming up right in the corner right there. But that looks a lot better. All right, I kind of want to work on the part, because if you look at this, you can't really tell the part, and it doesn't look real. So we are going to work on the part and pluck it a little bit, kind of just thin it out. Sorry if I moved the camera. I am going to try to. Now, on my parts, personally, I don't like them too terribly straight. I don't want them to look so perfect. But I don't want the zigzag part in there either. I want them to lay good. Maybe I have to do it just a little bit at a time. When they're so thick like this, it's hard at first to get them right. There. That's looking a little better already. Can you see that? Because if they're too perfect, it doesn't look real. You don't want it too perfect. Or at least I don't. Okay. Okay, you see how thick that looks right there? You can't really even part it to look at the scalp or the mono part there. So that's where I take it off. You can spray it with a little water to keep it where you want it. And if it's a new wig, what I would do, and it doesn't stay very well, you can take one of your handy dandy little clips when you have it on your head and take it off, you know, spray it with water, take it off, put your little clips on both sides, and then make sure you've got your part where you want it, like you had it up here, and then you can take your clips off. Now, I know I had my tweezers up here. So, now the question is, what did I do with my tweezers? All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go find them. All right, guys, so we're back. Found my tweezers, got my little handy dandy water bottle. We're just going to kind of give it a lightly spray and to kind of keep it where I want it. Now, when you do this, make sure you don't over pluck, okay? You see? You do not want to over pluck that. Do one at a time. I have seen where people have done two at a time or more, and they've pulled at the lace so much that it's actually torn the lace. You do not want to do that. So, and I just want to make it a little more realistic. So I take it like this with my finger, and I take it and I take one at a time, and I get in there and I just do one at a time. And again, this is like the oops, don't want to do too much. This is like the trimming of the lace, or if you're going to cut bangs, anything you're going to do like that and take something off, you want to do just one at a time, a little bit at a time. You don't want to do too much because you can't put it back. You can't regrow it. You don't want to tear your lace. Okay, so all right, I'm not going to bore you to death each time I pluck, but I'm going to do this and then I'll show you the end result. Okay? Okay, guys, we're back and I've got it plucked. I did spray it down a little bit more, so tell me what you think. Can you see? Don't that look so much better, right? Doesn't that look so much better? All right, we're gonna put her on and then we'll go from there and we'll see. Now, I still don't have my translucent powder, but oh yeah, already so much better already. Let me get her straight. And you shouldn't be doing what I just did by adjusting her like that. You should do it with the ear tabs like that. All right. And like I said, my part, I don't ever really like it to be too perfect. However, that one looks pretty perfect. But it is kind of at an angle. But I'll just get a little translucent powder, go up there in that little lace and those knots and hide those knots. So in the comments, guys, tell me what you think. Tell me if you like it. Tell me what you do, because everybody does a little different. We're all in this together, just trying to get some more education out there. Tell me what you would call the education part of my videos. You know, I've been doing this now for about a year, and I've had so many questions. I still have people come up to me physically here around this area and ask me questions all the time and say, hey, we need to get together. And then I have so many that message me and ask me questions. And so I'm still wanting to put out more videos, more education videos on things that I do. Now, this is me personally. There's other videos out there. There's other things, and we're always learning. We are out there together as wig sisters. We're still learning. We are, you know, the hair loss and stuff. We've gone through a lot. We've got to stick together. We're learning this stuff, and it's come a long way, you know. So if you have a better idea or a different idea that may be a little easier, you just let me know. Anyway, you comment down below, subscribe to my channel because it helps the channel grow, and share. All right, guys, I will see you next time.